boys and girls, here we are again. Now, as in the last video, I just want to do a couple of shout outs before we get started. The first shout out is for Jamie and Rachel from Treasure Rangers, good friends of mine. I want to give them a shout out because they sent me a very nice baseball cap which I will be adding to my collection. I won it in one of their raffle prize type things. They also sent me some more of their lovely stickers and a very nice covering letter to go with it. So thank you very much, Jamie and Rachel. Now, if you haven't seen Jamie and Rachel before on Treasure Rangers, here's a quick look at them. Right, boys and girls, that was Jamie and Rachel from Treasure Rangers. Now, I also want to mention a channel called Bleeping Fun, which is hosted by a very nice chap called Nico. Now, Nico sent me two of his very nice stickers just there, and he also sent me an iron-on transfer type thing that you can put on a t-shirt. He also sent me a very nice Danish coin as well. Now, once again, if you've never heard of Bleeping Fun or Nico, here he is. Boys and girls, that was Nico from Bleeping Fun. Now, last but not least, I also want to mention my very good friend Tom from Cheshire Metal Detecting, who sent me this lovely book on medieval artifacts. Absolutely wonderful book. Thank you very much, Tom. And once again, if you've never heard of Cheshire Metal Detecting or Tom, here he is. Right, boys and girls, back to the subject in question. Now, before I go any further, it is worth saying that this video isn't for all you seasoned professionals out there that are already making very good videos for YouTube. No, it's designed for the people who are just thinking about making a video for YouTube and hopefully just helping them along their way. Right, let's talk a little bit about the video editing software that's available to download from the internet. Well, the world's your oyster. There's loads of it. Some of it's good, some of it's rubbish, trust me. Some of it's free, and some of it you have to pay for. Some of it is very easy and straightforward to use, but some of it is very complicated. Now, the more complicated ones really are just for professional filmmakers, so I would avoid those to start with, because my advice is learn to walk before you run. Start with something relatively easy and straightforward just to get you used to the idea of making videos for YouTube. Okay, now it's worth saying that some of the video editing software that you can download, they will tell you some porky pies. They'll tell you it's free, whereas in actual fact it's not free at all. Because once you've downloaded it, you get something extremely basic, and anything halfway decent, you've got to pay for it. So bear that in mind. Okay. Right, my good friends. Now, one or two people have already asked me what software I use. Well, I use a version of Windows Movie Maker. Now, the original version of Windows Movie Maker is supposedly no longer available, but if you search for it on the internet, you can still find it and download it for free. Now, I would suggest that one because it's simple to use, quite straightforward, but at the same time it's still got some nice features and special effects that you can use in your video. Now, admittedly, it doesn't have all the whistles and bells and fantastic special effects that you find on some other software, but if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that I don't make videos that are all singing and all dancing with fantastic special effects. I prefer to make what you might call a good, honest, down-to-earth metal detecting video. that is my personal preference. That's how I like doing things. Now, obviously, before you do any of this, you're going to have to create your own channel on YouTube. Now, a lot of people think that you can just make a video and upload it to YouTube. Well, I'm sorry, but it doesn't work like that. You've got to create your own channel first. But it's quite straightforward. If you just go onto YouTube, type in how do I create my own channel, you'll get all the instructions and it's quite straightforward. But a little tip for you. Before you create your own channel, think about a channel name first. I know that sounds a bit daft, but it's true. Because if you start to create your own channel and then it asks you what you want to call yourself, you might find it takes quite a long time before you decide upon a name. So think about a name first. It might take you a few hours and it might take you days to think of a good name. But think of a good name first before you create your own channel. Another thing to remember is you can't just upload a video to YouTube in any format, because they have specific rules on what you can upload to YouTube, and it's got to be in the right format, something like WMV. Now, a lot of software that's available will convert the video automatically into the right format for YouTube, but some don't, and you might have to convert it yourself, but it's quite straightforward. Another thing to think about is when you upload a video to YouTube is your thumbnail. Now, if you don't know what a thumbnail is, your thumbnail is what appears down the side of the screen on your laptop that advertises your video. And that's it. That's your thumbnail. Now, sometimes, or most of the time, YouTube will pick a thumbnail for you. They'll take a frame out of your video and use that to advertise your video. Now, sometimes they look quite good, but sometimes they're a bit boring. So it does help to create your own thumbnail for your video, because literally that is what advertises your video to the viewers. And the more it stands out, the better it is. There are some sites you can go on to create thumbnails that are free. And if you want any advice on which sites to use, just leave me a comment down below and I'll point you in the right direction. Okie dokie. Right, I'm just going to have a quick break now and have a drink of my coffee, and then we'll come on to the content of the video. Okie dokie. Right, boys and girls, let's talk about the content of the video. Now, I can't stress enough how important the content is. The reason being that the better the content is, hopefully the more views you'll get, and the more views you get, the more likely YouTube is to promote your video as suggested viewing, and that's what you're aiming for. Now, there are various ways of doing this. One of the ways, I think personally, is to structure the video. Don't have it exactly the same all the way through, just showing hole after hole after hole after hole, because that can be a bit boring for some people. No, structure your video. Have a beginning, have a middle bit and an ending. Another good way to improve the content of the video is make it more interesting while you're out in the field. Speak to the viewer in front of the camera if you're not camera shy. Explain where you are. Maybe tell them a little bit more about the local history of the area, why you're going to detect in that dip, why are you going to detect up that bankside, that kind of thing. Obviously showing the viewer the finds along the way. Now, another thing that you can do is show the viewer some props. I know that sounds a little bit silly, but you could maybe show them the new pinpointer that you've got. You could even show them the spray bottle you're using on the day with a sticker on it from another channel, something like that. You could show them the new finds box that you got for Christmas. Thank you very much, Christopher, should I say. Now, you're probably wondering what I'm doing waving this book about. Well, there's no reason in particular, but just for a second, it got your attention. And you were wondering why I was waving the book about. And was it going to be something interesting? Well, no, it was just another prop. Something to use in the video. It could be a fossil that you've found on your way around. an interesting stone or something that you've found on the beach. Anything that you can think of to make the video more interesting will help. Now, a lot of people get disheartened about what they find. Well, don't. Because let's be honest, most metal detectors, when they're out there, all they find is rubbish and maybe a few scabby old coins and the odd decent find. But bear in mind, the viewer wants to see everything that you've found, including the rubbish, because that's what metal detecting's all about. It's being honest. So don't be afraid to show the viewer everything that you've found. That's important. The other important thing is, don't get disheartened. If at first you don't succeed, try again. You'll not get it right first time. Took me ages to get it right, but I persevered. So as I say, don't get disheartened about your viewing figures or your subscriber count. Don't worry about that. And don't be worried about what that channel's doing or what that channel's doing. Don't be worried about how many views and how many subs they've got. That's not important. The important thing is your channel and you helping your own channel grow. Never mind what anybody else is doing. Concentrate on what you're doing. That's the important thing. Another thing to think about is try and post videos on a regular basis. Don't post one every week and then one once a month and then one every 3 weeks. Try and keep your videos posted on a regular basis if you can. And above all, enjoy yourself and have some fun, because that's what it's all about. It's about enjoying yourself and having fun. If you're not enjoying it and you're not having fun, you might as well pack up. You've got to enjoy yourself while you're doing it. That's so important. I do. If I didn't enjoy myself and have a good laugh while I'm making the videos and I'm out there detecting, I wouldn't bother, honestly. It wouldn't be worth my while. Anyway, that's my take on it. Right, I'm going to leave it there, and I hope this has been helpful to at least some people. And if you've got any questions that you need answering, just leave me a comment below, and I promise I will answer every comment, because I always do answer every comment. Okay, my friends, I'll catch you all the next time round. Bye bye.